Welcome back, everybody. Whoa, I really gotta stop spending so much money. This is a spur of the moment purchase. This is the What If Hydra Stomper. I got it for an eBay seller. I was not planning on getting this because for $485, I felt like the features that it presented wasn't something that interested me. But this particular seller, I could not believe it. He was selling it for $400. So I'm going to do an unboxing right now on camera live. This is straight off of the eBay purchaser. It just arrived less than 30 minutes ago. So he shipped it without the brown box, which is just fine by me. This actually arrived in very good condition, the box. Anyway, everything's sealed. It's got the seal, the hot tape toys. I already cut the side, but I don't think this has been opened because I'm looking at here. This is completely sealed. So for $400 instead of the $485, I feel like that's a bargain. Of course, I still had to pay taxes, an additional $40 for taxes, but shipping was free because it's eBay. So this is the brown shipping mailer box from Hot Toys itself. A lot of people were kind of concerned the way it looks because this is it. That's all you're getting. And then there's a print on top. Look at this print. This print is the background by itself. It's made out of fairly thick cardboard, but it's very glossy. You can use it as a poster. It's really nice material. Or you can use it as a background behind the Stomper itself. Now, after that, you're basically getting the figure right there and there. That's it, right? So a lot of people were kind of bummed the way it looks. For $485, I probably would have been too, but $400, so I'm not. I'm not as bummed. I don't really care about any kind of boxes or packaging or anything like that. I'm an out-of-box collector anyway. Alright, so there it is. It's heavier than I expected it to be because from the reviewers online that I've seen, it seemed like it was going to be very light. It seemed like it was going to be like very hollow vinyl material. From what I'm feeling right now as I lifted it, it's substantially heavy enough. Let's see how it's going to lift outside of the box. I don't really think there's anything much in here, if I remember. So, here it is. Completely unopened, as far as I can tell. As you heard, as I was pulling the tape from the side. Okay, so it's not bad in terms of weight. This is probably around 20 pounds. No, is it 20 pounds? Maybe 15, 20 pounds. Okay. I'm going to move this out of the way right now. I know there's more stuff on the bottom. I'm going to lay him down. As I remove the rest of the packaging, basically the rest of the stuff is in here, okay? So just let's open that up. Basically another set of tape. Need to remove. Off to the side is the very small manual. I'm going to change the camera angle once I have everything set up. I just decided to do a quick unboxing. Also as documentation for the eBay seller, just in case. I'm sorry, I'm not accusing you of anything. I just wanted to make sure it was a legit sale, because $400, dude, for something that was originally $485. That's an $85 off, almost 1/5 of the original price. I could not. Not only do I not have a space for this, not only was I not planning on getting this, but for such a discount like that, this is really bad impulse, a bad impulse buy for me. This is the stand, very nice clear acrylic. It's very strong. It's almost made out of the old pitcher bottles. This is what pitcher water containers. Very strong, very nice, very shiny, very clear. The foot pegs, now I gotta think about Peggy Carter, because I don't care about Steve Rogers. I feel like somebody's gonna make that into a better, but the Peggy Carter one, jeez. The antenna. This is the light box that goes inside the figure. The batteries. Sorry about that phone. And
call from the incoming John.
And then finally the backpack over here. So I'll be right back. I'm going to change the position of the camera and we'll get a better view. Alright, we'll continue the unboxing or the review of this figure in this angle. As you notice, I haven't even removed any of the plastics or anything like that. What? That one just fell off. But it's okay. It looks like it's just in the ball peg. And while it's off, let's see what it's like. It's really hollow plastic. That's the only connection it's doing. This is the paint job. So it's very nice. And it should just pop in really easily. It's just a ball peg. There, I just wanted to see how that peg works. Boy, you know what? This might be harder than it is because it's really kind of hard plastic. Okay, it's on now. Just be careful when you're putting back on. I think it wasn't properly put on. That's why it was in it falling off like that. This does open, locks in fine. Okay, that's off. Let me just continue to remove this. I'll be right back. Alright, so this basically goes inside the cavity once you open it up. This works as the cockpit thing for Steve Rogers. This is going to be the light box for the reactor. Just open it up. It's right here in the bottom. Put in your batteries. I think there's 3 in here. And then for the light up feature of the head, just remove the top here. And then you're going to put the batteries over here. This is how I usually put my batteries in. I'll put the 2 in. And then I'm going to grab the third one. I'll put it in the middle. And I just squeeze it in. That's it. You can see it's turning on right now. It's the easiest way of putting batteries in, so it's not popping out or anything. I'm going to go ahead and screw it in. It's good to go. I'm going to go in this one. Okay guys, just to show you how I put my batteries in. I'll put one in like so. I'll put the second one in. Okay. So it's standing like that. And then I put the third one in the middle and I squeeze it in. That's it. Easy peasy. I do the same thing with the thin ones. These are thicker, so probably you guys think it's easier, but eh. And it's cold, so my fingers aren't as tactile as they usually would be. It's just the cold is not helping for sure. Come on. Good enough. Test it. And boom. Okay. I'll put the old chrome dome in. It's magnetic. Thank you very much. So this opens up. That's the canopy. Alright, so it's just on a basic hinge. Very basic design on the cockpit. There's the inside. Again, very basic design. There's a thing over there. So this basically goes up to over here. This is not even accessible to us. I'm gonna go with the waist articulation now since we're here. Okay, and then this one just basically, it's also magnetic, and you just attach it to those three screw holes that they have. That's it. Push it in, and you got the light up features. Okay, push that in. It's kind of a shame, Hot Toys, you guys need to get into the magnetic switches, man. So I don't have to do that. And don't increase the prices just because you're getting to join the rest of the third-party community doing this. There you go, all lit up. Okay, should I continue? I'll continue it on like that, doesn't matter. Articulation, obviously the neck goes like so, up and down. It's really good that the range of movement on the neck is that high, because this is going to be mostly in a flight pose like that. So thank you for doing that at least. This is unseemly, but you won't be seeing that anyway when he's flying. Very nice paint job. You cannot fault Hot Toys for paint jobs. It's always going to be good initially. Moving the shoulders, basically this is on a hinge. As you saw, this thing popped out before. This is the mechanism, and then it just has a ball point over here, a ball joint, so you can move it around. Move the shoulders first, or the shoulder guard first as you move the shoulders, and then position it back to hide whatever joints that you need to hide. Move that out of the way to give us more coverage, movement. And then this is basically a bicep swivel, goes like so. Okay, there is not going to be any kind of arc reactor in the hands. I'm not sure if that was ever in the TV series, but there's nothing in here. Movement forward, very stiff ball joint. There's your movement. You don't need ratchets because it's so stiff anyway. The hands are articulated. Again, it's on a ball peg system, so you'll get everything that you need. The hands are articulated. Okay. The fingers also move a little bit of sideways, so you're able to spread the hands a little bit. I believe the base here is in a ball joint, so you can twist it around, see? And then the thumb is basically it, rotates, but then it just only goes up to like this. Good enough movement on the fingers. Thank you for that. I don't know why I'm thankful. It should be. Very kind of hollow looking. The design is basically very, very faithful to the movie. Okay. Same thing goes for the other side. move this a little bit. So this thing has these over here. No blasting effects. I'm okay. It's okay. I'll probably use the Hasbro ones anyway. But it's, like I said, nicely painted and everything, so you should not have any issues. Too big, or more than likely. This is from the. That's okay. I wouldn't even mention that. Okay, so that's it for the articulation, because the legs, they don't move. They are one solid bunch, as you can see. At least it's stable, I guess. Still nicely painted. When I purchased this, I was strongly considering modifying this later. I was thinking of looking for the seam line for the bottom, see if I can split it, and then I can cut it apart and all that stuff. But I am not seeing any kind of seam line for this figure. But if I were to be insane enough to do so, I would try to access this so I could separate the two, and then since there's no seam line, which means it can't be broken apart, I'd have to basically use my jewelry saw and I'd cut this apart. Oh look, is that seam line right there? Look, there is a hole right there, see? I would cut this here, cut this here, cut this here, basically cut it through the joints and start figuring out how I'm gonna put new ball joints in there. But yeah, this is the only flaw that I can see from the manufacturing process. There is a hole in there. As you can see, this has screws in it so you can separate it, but for some reason the bottom part doesn't. So I don't know how, because I'm not seeing any parting lines. So it had to be a two-piece mold, but anyway, I guess they could have cast it in like rubber. So we'll go ahead and attach the backpack. Here's a detail of the backpack, by the way. Very simple design. I mean, it was simple in the movies. I'm disappointed these don't move. I can see why now, because this is attached, that's attached, that's not gonna move. This should at least move. Okay, so it does. This is basically kind of like the stand or the pedal where Peggy Carter or whatever character you're gonna put on stands here. Basically, these foot pegs will just, it's an easy clip on like that. I'm not going to do that yet. We will attach it to the back. Okay, before you screw it, make sure these are flushed, because I did encounter some resistance. Okay, I know it's flush now, so I'm going to go ahead and start screwing it in. Don't over tighten. Once it's in, you're good. Magnetized. Okay, goes inside like so. Then last thing to do is the foot pegs. Okay, actually I'm wrong. Last thing to do is the antenna. And that's it. That's it for the review. I don't know what else I need to say. It's a good piece. Is it a $500 piece? I would not have bought this for $500. Let's see. This is for the flag pose. I guess we'll do that really quick. Be careful, I guess, when you're doing this, because you're probably going to do some paint rubs. If you're not careful. Okay, so you're going to see some gap inside here, it seems like. It's not going to touch it completely. And that's it. That's basically how he flies. You know, for this particular figure, I actually think it might work better when he's flying like that. Because that way you're not noticing how, you don't notice how static the feet are. And I'm going to put this back on. It's upside down. So, like I was saying, if it's worth $500, I don't think it's worth $500. You guys notice my Galactus over there. Let me just tilt the camera really quick. So we give Hasbro a lot of grief for their over-expensive prices right now. I feel like the Galactus was a good price. What, $450? This is $485. That's about the same size. So Galactus is bigger, more articulation, more ratchets, less paint job. Yes, less paint job for sure. Has lights, no sounds. Same articulation for the fingers. Same range of articulation for the arms, even though it's limited by the design. Has articulation on all the stuff on all the joints and everything. Limited by the design, but it's there. That's about the same size right there. So this is good. This is good for $450. If it was better painted, I'd be more happier. This is for $485. It's too expensive. You've probably seen this on other reviewers' sites, and you probably noticed it when you opened it. When I opened this and I showed you the inside. Can you fit a 1/6 figure in this one? No, you cannot. The average size 1/6 scale figure is 12 inches. There's no way you're gonna fit it in there unless you chop off the figure in half. The Steve Rogers figure that they have is not 12 inches because Steve Rogers in the cartoons or in the movie is smaller than the average man. That figure is much smaller. I don't have it. I can't show it to you. You can look at other reviewers who've shown it, but they have him on a cross-legged function, and a cross-leg basically goes inside here. You can't even close this because his head is too high. So if you're gonna pose Steve Rogers, you'd have to pose him standing up. I suppose the closest one I have is closest figure to the size of Steve Rogers would be Robin over here, the Hot Toys Robin. That's him standing in the lowest corner. That's just not gonna fit. Okay, just to show you, I guess Robin is the boy blunder right now. We're boy experiment. Just to show you really quickly, here's a Mego Robin, cross-legged. Okay, there you go. Now he's gonna fit. I'm not gonna close it completely, but okay. So if you don't want to customize it, making the legs articulated, for all the hassle, for how expensive this is, that's why I'm hesitating whether I'm gonna do it or not, because too much of a hassle, and how much more. What kind of movement am I really gonna do with it anyway? It's not like I'm gonna be playing with it. At the most, I'd probably have it just standing straight up. But this is an 8-inch figure compared to, let's say, a 12-inch figure. So obviously this is too small. If, let's say, Steve Rogers was 4 foot in the animation, I feel like he'd be like maybe 2 more inches higher. I'm just speculating what figure would be a good fit for this. Something that's 1 more inch higher would go in there cross-legged, and then he'd be able to sit and you'd be able to close it. There's really not much else to show with the Hydra Stomper. It's a good figure. If you can find a deal for it, I would tell you guys, find a deal for it. Having it in hand right now, I definitely would like to get a Captain Carter. I feel she's more appropriate to this than the other one because she'd be standing in the back. That's how I would pose it. Get a deal if you can. $500 is way too much. $485 plus tax. It's gonna be over $500. And with Sideshow, you're probably gonna go shipping with $20, $30, $25. It's too much for this figure, I think. But $440 shipped. I feel like that was something I couldn't pass up. The original Ironmonger that I got, I believe that was going for $350 when I purchased it. At that time, that was fully articulated. I don't even see. That's the reason why I'm not even going to modify this. I think I don't even move the Ironmonger too much. I don't even open up the canopy too much. Once in a while, maybe like 2 years or so, when I'm cleaning it, and I'll play around with it. Even with that one, there are stresses in the bolt joints right out of the box, which is not aggravated by the fact that I'm not moving it. And the Hulkbuster, as we know, when it first came out, it was $850 plus tax, and that's, I wish I could have gotten that, but even that one's limited in movement. I think you can move it a little bit, move it forward a little bit. You put a full figure in if you want. So I think there's ways to kind of fake that here. Funny enough, let me show you what I did. Marvel Legends Hydra Stomper. Fully articulated, as you know. But I bought this because I knew I could do it. And I did. I hollowed out the inside. Made the cockpit open as well. And I find it strange that the design, I didn't design any of this, it's just the way it is. I find it kind of amusing. This isn't a clip-on Lego. That it's almost the same in terms of how it's constructed. I thought this was going to be hollow. I felt like it needed to be hollow so I can put the head in. But and then there's the inside, and then you have this joint to make the stronger joint, and then they have it here too, and a big one. Look at how close they resemble each other. See, the big one needed to have these two sports, and then this is the ball joint system. And mine's the same way. The connections and all that stuff, and then the ball joint system. This, I cut off the peg system over there, and I installed magnets so that it can still rotate. I have 4 of these. The other ones I haven't modded. The modding was particularly difficult because you needed to split the figure so that you can cut it away. Anyway, this is not about the Marvel Legends Hydra Stomper. This is about the Hot Toys Hydra Stomper. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful in this review. There's not much else to say. Get it at a bargain if you can. Alright, hold off. Yeah, it's a niche collection anyway, because it only had that one show, and we all know what happened to Captain Carter anyway. My last thoughts on this one: did Hot Toys do correctly by making this stationary? You're not going to be playing with this a lot. It's a very big figure. It's very heavy. Based on how Ironmonger 1 and Hulkbuster, if you look at through those reviews, how much movement they get on these legs, if you want to bump up from 500 to another to 1,000, which is what the Hulkbuster Mark 1 is selling for, 1120, you're paying $1,000 for articulation that you're probably not going to use, because the lower parts you might not use, the upper parts you will, because you're shooting up and down, all that stuff. Lower parts not much, because you can't kneel, you can't sit, you can't run. So a lower price point with half of a movement, yeah, I was interested in this when I saw it, but not for $500. I feel like, honestly, I felt like it was a $350 figure. So since I saw it for $400, I figured it's a $50 increase. I'm okay with that. $400, $350 to $400 is a good price point for this, for what you're getting. Only 2 lights, and the articulation. There's not even any blast effects or anything like that. Paint job is good, but it's, to think about it, it's just very, very minimal. Yeah, if you can get it for a good price, that's what I would advise. Thank you for watching again, for listening through, and I hope you found this informative. You guys have a happy holidays.